You are not here by accident. You did not stumble into this moment. And you did not press play because of curiosity alone. Something in you felt the weight of January 28th before your mind could explain it. Beloved chosen one, listen carefully. There are moments on the calendar that are not just dates but intersections, points where heaven observes more closely, where decisions echo louder, where delay becomes dangerous. This is one of those moments. You are being watched, not with condemnation, but with attention. And attention from heaven always means purpose is on the line. You have felt it building. The restlessness, the sense that time is speeding up while clarity feels delayed. You wake up with a heaviness you can't name, or you fall asleep knowing tomorrow carries something unresolved. This is not anxiety without cause. This is spiritual awareness activating. You are standing at the edge of a threshold, and thresholds are uncomfortable because they require movement. What you do next matters more than you think. You are in danger, not because you are weak, but because you are marked. Ordinary people are ignored by spiritual resistance. Chosen ones are pressured. When your calling draws closer to activation, opposition intensifies, not always with chaos, but often with subtlety, distraction, doubt, a whisper that says, "You can do this later." But later is the most dangerous word for someone called to move now. Hear this clearly: the danger is not an attack you can see. It is the temptation to treat this moment like any other, to scroll past it, to assume there will be another warning, another sign, another confirmation. But this is the confirmation. This is divine intervention disguised as a message. Heaven has pressed pause on everything else to speak directly to you. You have survived seasons that should have broken you. You have carried burdens you never asked for. You have been misunderstood, isolated, even rejected by people who could not see what God placed inside you. And still, you are here. That alone tells you something. You were preserved for a reason. Preservation always precedes instruction. God does not keep what He does not plan to use. January 28th is not about fear. It is about alignment. It is a spiritual checkpoint, a moment where obedience and delay separate paths. One path leads to momentum, protection, and clarity. The other leads to repetition, going around the same mountain again, learning the same lessons through harder means. Mercy is still present, but mercy does not cancel consequence. This is why you feel urgency, not panic. Urgency. Do not do it, no matter the price. Do not trade clarity for comfort. Do not choose familiarity over obedience. There is something you have been nudged to do. Say, end, or begin. And you already know what it is. You don't need another prophecy to confirm it. You don't need another sign. The discomfort you feel when you avoid it is the sign. Chosen one, understand this: silence from heaven is rare. When God speaks, it is because timing is critical. And right now, timing is everything. You are not being asked to be perfect. You are being asked to be willing. Willing to listen. Willing to move. Willing to trust when the full picture is not yet visible. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it will speak, and it will not lie. Though it tarries, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry." That verse is not a contradiction. It is a warning. Yes, the vision has an appointed time, but missing alignment can make waiting longer than necessary. The vision will not lie, but you can step out of position and delay your experience of it. Waiting in faith is different from waiting in avoidance. One is obedience. The other is fear wearing a spiritual mask. You are being tested. Not on how much you know, but on how quickly you respond when truth confronts you. This test is quiet. There is no crowd, no applause, just you and the choice in front of you. Heaven is watching how you steward this moment, because greater responsibility requires proven responsiveness. This is why pressure feels heavier right now. Pressure reveals priorities. Under pressure, excuses fall apart. Under pressure, what you truly believe comes to the surface. And what is surfacing now is meant to be addressed, not ignored. Listen carefully. Conviction is a gift. If you feel convicted, it means the door is still open. The danger would be feeling nothing at all. So don't numb yourself. Don't distract yourself. Lean in. Let the discomfort teach you. Let it realign you. Let it push you back into obedience. You were never meant to blend in. You were never meant to live on autopilot. You carry a light that disrupts darkness, and darkness always tries to delay what it cannot destroy. But delay only works if you agree with it. So here is your moment. Before tomorrow, before the window shifts. Choose clarity over confusion, obedience over delay, alignment over comfort. This is not coincidence. This is divine timing. If this message bears witness in your spirit, don't keep it to yourself. Like this message, share it with someone who needs this warning, and subscribe to stay connected to what is coming next. And as a prophetic act of agreement, comment the number 28 below once, at the end declaring that you recognize the moment and choose to respond. You are learning that destiny is not revealed all at once. It unfolds through testing, and often the test comes long before the reward. To understand this, you must look at the life of Joseph not as a distant Bible character, but as a mirror reflecting your own journey. Joseph's story is not about quick promotion. It is about hidden faithfulness when no one is watching, when the promise feels mocked by reality. Joseph was chosen early. As a young man, he carried dreams that were not born from ego but from heaven. Dreams of elevation, authority, and purpose. Yet the moment those dreams were spoken, resistance appeared, not from strangers, but from his own brothers. This is always the pattern. The first test of a calling often comes through familiar voices that do not understand what God has revealed to you. Joseph's honesty became the doorway to betrayal. Your obedience can do the same. You know this feeling. You have shared vision too early. You have trusted people who could not carry the weight of what you were becoming. And like Joseph, you discovered that being chosen does not protect you from being rejected. Sometimes, it intensifies it. Joseph was thrown into a pit, not because he failed, but because he was favored. The pit was not punishment, it was separation. God was removing him from an environment that could never support the future he had planned. When you were pushed aside, overlooked, or removed, it felt like loss, but heaven was repositioning you. The pit is where noise fades and dependence on God sharpens. From the pit, Joseph was sold into slavery. This is where many would give up. After all, how could a dream of leadership survive chains? Yet Joseph did something that reveals the core of his character. He remained faithful. He did not allow bitterness to rewrite his identity. He served with excellence in Potiphar's house, even when no promise was visible. This is the kind of obedience that heaven watches closely, the obedience that does not require applause. You are in this phase now, doing the right thing without recognition, showing integrity when cutting corners would be easier, remaining consistent when progress feels invisible. This is not wasted time. This is training. God builds leaders by first building character. Then came another test. False accusation, Joseph did not fall because of sin, he fell because of righteousness. He refused compromise, and it cost him his position. You must understand this truth: sometimes doing the right thing will make your situation worse before it makes it better. Faithfulness does not always produce immediate relief, but it always produces long-term authority. Joseph was thrown into prison, a place that seemed even further from his dreams. But prison did not strip him of purpose. Even there, Joseph served. Even there, he interpreted dreams. Even there, he remained aligned with God. He did not say, "I will be faithful again once I am free." He was faithful in confinement. This is where many fail the test, waiting for conditions to improve before obeying. You are being asked the same question. Joseph faced, will you remain faithful when the promise feels delayed? Will you still honor God when obedience costs you comfort? Will you serve wholeheartedly when no one can promote you? Joseph spent years in obscurity, years where the dream seemed silent, years where forgotten promises echoed in the darkness of a cell. But heaven was not silent. God was observing every response, every attitude, every choice. Promotion was being prepared, but it required timing. If Joseph had been elevated too early, his character would not have sustained the calling. Then suddenly, everything changed. In one day, Joseph was brought from prison to the palace, not because he demanded justice, but because he was ready. When Pharaoh asked for interpretation, Joseph did not claim credit. He gave glory to God. That single moment revealed that Joseph had passed the test. Power could now be entrusted to him without corrupting him. This is the pattern you must recognize. God does not rush promotion. He waits for alignment. The delay you resent is the protection you do not yet see. The test before elevation is not about skill. It is about surrender, not about visibility, but about trust. The final proof of Joseph's transformation came when he stood before the very brothers who betrayed him. With power to retaliate, he chose mercy. This is when destiny fully activated, authority without bitterness, power without revenge, leadership rooted in forgiveness. When that is the kind of vessel God can use to save nations, you are being shaped for something larger than personal success. Like Joseph, your obedience is not only about you. Others are connected to your faithfulness. If you fail the test, they suffer delay. If you endure, they are preserved. The test before promotion will always ask the same questions. Will you obey when it hurts? Will you trust when you do not understand? Will you remain faithful when no reward is visible? Joseph answered yes, not once, but repeatedly, in private. Over time, the ancient words recorded in the book of Genesis, chapter 39, verse 2, declare the Lord was with Joseph, and he was a successful man, and he was in the house of his master, the Egyptian. Notice the order. The Lord was with Joseph first. Success followed, not the other way around. God's presence did not remove hardship, but it guaranteed purpose within it. That same presence is with you now. If you are still waiting, it does not mean you have failed. It means the story is still unfolding. Remain faithful, remain aligned. The prison is not your ending, it is preparation. And when the time comes, elevation will happen suddenly, unmistakably, and with divine authority because you passed the test when no one was watching. Pressure does not arrive loudly at first. It rarely announces itself as danger. Instead, it whispers, it suggests, it negotiates. Hidden traps are effective precisely because they look harmless. Spiritual pressure does not usually demand rebellion. It invites compromise. And compromise is the quiet agreement that slowly shifts you off course while convincing you that nothing serious has changed. You feel it most at the end of the day, when the noise settles, when you finally sit with yourself, there is a subtle unease that cannot be blamed on exhaustion alone. Something feels slightly misaligned, not broken, not destroyed, just off. This is where the danger lives. Not in dramatic collapse, but in small concessions you barely noticed yourself making. Chosen one. Understand this darkness does not need you to renounce your calling. It only needs you to delay obedience. A small compromise today becomes permission for a larger one tomorrow, and spiritual pressure increases when you tolerate what you once resisted. Compromise often disguises itself as wisdom. Just this once. Now is not the right time. I'll fix it later. I'm tired today. None of these sound sinful. That is why they work. The trap is not obvious disobedience, it is postponed obedience. And postponed obedience slowly trains your spirit to ignore conviction. This is why your discernment feels strained lately. You are not losing your sensitivity. You are being tested in it. Pressure reveals what you excuse, and what you excuse, you eventually normalize. What you normalize, you stop resisting. This is the pattern you must interrupt now. Hidden traps often appear in the form of small moral shortcuts, emotional indulgences, subtle dishonesty, or quiet bitterness you justified because of what you've been through. You told yourself you deserved it. You told yourself God understood. And He does, but understanding does not mean endorsement. Conviction is proof that grace is still active. Here is the practical instruction you must take seriously, not as advice, but as discipline. Every night, ask yourself one question without defending yourself, without explaining it away. What did I compromise today? Not what did you destroy? Not where did you fail publicly? But what did you soften? What did you delay? What boundary did you quietly move? What truth did you avoid acting on even though you felt the nudge? This question is dangerous to complacency. That is why many avoid it. But this question keeps you awake spiritually. It forces honesty before patterns form. Then comes the second step. And this is where most people fail once the compromise is identified. You correct it within 24 hours. Not next week. Not when you feel stronger. Not when circumstances improve. Within 24 hours, no delay. Why? Because delay strengthens the grip of compromise. The longer you wait, the more justified it feels. Immediate correction weakens the trap before it can deepen. Obedience loses power when it is postponed. You must hear this clearly. Small compromises lead to large falls, not because God is harsh, but because direction compounds. A 1-degree shift over time takes you far from where you intended to be. The fall is never sudden. It is gradual, silent, and explained away until recovery feels overwhelming. Spiritual pressure increases right before elevation because integrity must be secured before authority is released. God will not place weight on a structure that is already bending. This is not punishment. This is protection. You are being reinforced, not restricted. The enemy does not need to attack you openly. If he can get you comfortable with minor misalignment, your own habits will do the rest. This is why vigilance matters now more than ever. Not vigilance against others, but against your own willingness to excuse. You are not being asked to live in fear. You are being asked to live awake. Awareness is not anxiety. Awareness is alignment. And alignment keeps you safe even under pressure. The apostle warns us with clarity as recorded in the first letter to the Corinthians. Chapter 10, verse 12. Therefore let him who thinks he stands take heed lest he fall. That warning is not for the weak. It is for those who feel stable. Confidence without self-examination is dangerous. Strength without humility creates blind spots. This verse is not meant to terrify you, but to steady you. To remind you that vigilance preserves what arrogance risks. You are not condemned for noticing compromise. You are empowered by it. The moment you see it, you have authority to correct it. And correction done quickly does not weaken you, it sharpens you. Pressure loses its power when you respond immediately. Traps collapse when exposed early. Compromise only grows in secrecy and delay. Light dismantles it fast. This is why tonight matters, not tomorrow night. Tonight, ask the question, answer it honestly, then act. One correction, one realignment, one step back into integrity. That single act interrupts a chain that could have led somewhere you were never meant to go. Before moving forward, mark this moment, not with noise, not with long declarations, and with a simple signal of intention. Come on, no compromise. This is not about impressing anyone. This is a marker, a line drawn in the spirit. By writing it, you are declaring awareness, not perfection. You are choosing correction over comfort, alignment over delay, light over quiet erosion. Hidden traps lose power when named. Spiritual pressure breaks when obedience is immediate. And you, chosen one, are not here to fall quietly. You are here to walk alert, aligned, and unbending, especially when the pressure rises. There is a moment in every calling where movement matters more than understanding. You are standing in that moment now. What comes next is not about learning more, preparing more, or waiting for a clearer sign. It is about response, obedience versus delay. Two paths that look similar at first, but lead to radically different outcomes over time. Delay rarely feels like rebellion. That is why it is so deceptive. It feels reasonable, responsible, even spiritual. You tell yourself you are waiting for peace, waiting for confirmation, waiting for better timing. But beneath those explanations, there is often something else: fear of loss, fear of discomfort, fear of stepping into responsibility. Delay becomes a shelter where fear hides behind logic. Chosen one, understand this: obedience is time-sensitive. When God speaks, the instruction carries an expiration. Not because God changes his mind, but because seasons move. What was possible in one window may require far more pain in the next. This is why Scripture repeatedly emphasizes the word today. Heaven moves in moments. Delay hardens perception. You have already felt this tension. The inner nudge followed by hesitation. The clarity followed by rationalization. The quiet instruction followed by noise. Each time you delayed, the voice did not vanish, but it became easier to ignore. This is not punishment. This is the natural effect of postponement. Sensitivity dulls when not acted upon. Obedience, on the other hand, sharpens discernment. Every time you respond quickly, your spirit becomes more aligned, more receptive, more confident in recognizing truth. Obedience builds momentum. Delay builds resistance. You must stop thinking of obedience as loss. It is not what you give up that matters most, it is what you protect. Obedience protects clarity. It protects peace. It protects your future self from unnecessary battles. Many of the struggles people face later in life are not attacks. They are the compounded weight of delayed obedience earlier on. This is why pressure increases when you hesitate. Not because God is angry, but because delay places you out of rhythm. Like a musician playing offbeat, everything begins to feel strained. You work harder for less peace. You pray more but feel less clear. You move, but without traction. Immediate obedience realigns you instantly. Even when the instruction feels small. Especially when it feels small. because small acts of obedience train you for larger ones. God does not test you with big commands first. He tests you with simple ones that reveal your posture. You are not being asked to understand the whole plan. You are being asked to trust the next step. Delay demands certainty. Obedience requires faith. And faith is not passive, it is responsive. Look back honestly. The moments you regret most are not usually the risks you took in obedience. They are the moments you knew what to do and didn't do it. The words you should have spoken. The boundaries you should have enforced. The changes you should have made when conviction was fresh. Delay always promises comfort, but it delivers confusion. Obedience may feel costly up front, but it delivers peace that does not depend on circumstances. That peace is not emotional, it is directional. It comes from knowing you are aligned, even if the road ahead is still unfolding. The danger of delay is not just what it postpones, but what it trains you to tolerate. Once you tolerate hesitation, it becomes habit. Habit becomes identity, and identity becomes destiny. This is why heaven intervenes early with warnings, with pressure, with reminders like this one. You are not behind, but you are being asked to move. Not aggressively, so not impulsively, so but decisively. Decision is spiritual. Indecision is spiritual too, it just aligns you with drift. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 24, "Therefore whoever hears these sayings of mine and does them, I will liken him to a wise man who built his house on the rock." Notice the distinction. Hearing is not enough. Agreement is not enough. Action is the foundation. Storms do not reveal what you heard. They reveal what you built on. Obedience is the difference between stability and collapse when pressure comes. You are building something right now, whether you realize it or not. With every response or lack of response, you are laying bricks. Delay lays sand. Obedience lays stone. This message is not meant to rush you into reckless decisions. It is meant to wake you out of comfortable hesitation. There is a next step you already know. It has been returning to your thoughts repeatedly. That repetition is not coincidence. It is insistence. Do not wait for motivation. Obedience does not require emotional readiness, it requires willingness. Movement often produces the clarity you are waiting for. If this message is helping you see more clearly, take a moment to support its reach. A simple like helps place this word in front of others who may be standing in their own moment of hesitation. Sharing it could be the confirmation someone else has been waiting for. And if you choose to subscribe, you are choosing to stay connected to messages designed to sharpen discernment and strengthen alignment, not hype, but clarity. You are not alone in this, but the choice itself is personal. No one can obey for you. No one can delay for you either. The path responds to your movement. Today is not about perfection, it is about direction. Choose movement over paralysis. Choose obedience over delay. Choose alignment over comfort. Because when you move with God, even the unknown becomes stable ground. There is a reason the pressure did not disappear after you chose obedience. Many people believe that once they do the right thing, resistance should lift immediately. But that belief misunderstands the nature of refinement. Obedience does not remove the fire, it determines what the fire does to you. This is the stage where many chosen ones grow confused. They say, "I obeyed, so why does it still hurt?" The answer is simple and sobering: you are not being punished. You are being purified. Passing through the fire is not a detour from your calling. It is the corridor that leads into it. Fire reveals what cannot go with you. It exposes attachments, motives, and dependencies that would collapse under the weight of future authority. What feels like loss right now is actually separation. God is not burning you. He is burning away what would have burned you later. You are not breaking, you are being strengthened. Fire hardens steel. Fire purifies gold. Fire terrifies what is fake, but it perfects what is real. The reason this season feels intense is because it is precise. The fire is targeted. It is touching areas you once relied on for comfort, identity, or security. Things you didn't realize had become supports instead of God Himself. This is why emotions fluctuate in this season. One moment you feel strong, convinced, aligned. The next moment you feel exposed, tired, and vulnerable. That does not mean you are regressing. It means the process is working. Refinement is uncomfortable because it removes illusions. You can no longer pretend you are fine where you are. You can no longer rely on what used to work. Fire forces honesty. It strips performance. It reveals who you are when all external reassurance is gone. And what is being revealed in you is not weakness, it is endurance. You are discovering that your faith is not dependent on ease. Your obedience is not dependent on reward. Your trust is not dependent on explanation. Many people quit here, not because the calling disappears, but because the cost becomes visible. Fire clarifies the price. It asks you if you want the promise enough to endure the process. This is not cruelty, this is consent. God does not drag anyone into destiny. He invites, and the fire confirms who is willing. You may feel misunderstood right now. Refinement often isolates. People who benefited from your old version may not understand the changes. They may accuse you of being distant, different, or difficult. But you are not withdrawing, you are shedding. The fire does not ask permission before it purifies. Do not rush this stage. Do not numb it. Do not escape it. Escaping the fire does not cancel it. It postpones it. And postponed refinement often returns with greater intensity. Endurance now saves pain later. Notice something important: fire does not last forever. It lasts only as long as necessary. God is precise. He knows exactly when to turn down the heat. The same hand that allows the fire controls it. You are never abandoned in it. You are supervised. This season is teaching you what cannot be shaken. Comfort can be shaken. Reputation can be shaken. Relationships can be shaken. Plans can be shaken. But what God is anchoring in you cannot be destroyed by pressure. Fire proves permanence. You are learning to stand without leaning, to trust without clinging, to obey without bargaining. This is maturity. This is readiness. The enemy wants you to believe the fire means you missed God. That lie has caused many to retreat just before transformation completed. But the truth is the opposite. The fire confirms you are on the right path. Resistance intensifies where progress is irreversible. You are not meant to enjoy the fire. You are meant to endure it. And endurance produces authority. Not loud authority, quiet authority. The kind that does not need validation. The kind that remains steady when others panic. This is why your spirit is becoming calmer even as circumstances feel intense. Refinement reduces reaction. It increases clarity. You are learning not to flinch, not to over-explain, not to defend yourself unnecessarily. Fire removes the need to prove anything. Heaven has always used fire to mark those it trusts, not to destroy them, but to distinguish them. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 20. But the Lord has taken you and brought you out of the iron furnace, out of Egypt, to be His people, an inheritance, as you are this day. An iron furnace is not a gentle place. It is intense. It is restrictive. It is hot, yet it is precisely where identity is clarified. Notice the order taken, brought out, then established. The furnace was not the end, it was the means. What you are enduring now is shaping your inheritance. Not just what you receive, but who you become capable of being. Without this stage, the weight of what comes next would crush you. With it, you will carry authority with humility and strength. Do not measure this season by comfort. Measure it by clarity. You see more now. You tolerate less now. You respond differently now. That is progress. You are passing through the fire, not staying in it. And you will come out marked not by damage, but by depth, by steadiness, by a faith that does not flicker under pressure. Before moving forward, anchor this moment with intention. Not noise, not many words, just alignment. Comment the number 43 below. This number is not random. It represents passage through pressure without destruction. By commenting it, you are acknowledging the process, not resisting it, not rushing it, but trusting what God is doing in you right now. It is a marker that says, I will endure, I will not retreat. I will come through refined. The fire will not define you. What survives it will. There comes a point in every true calling where growth slows not because momentum is lost, but because sealing begins. This is the stage many misunderstand. They assume silence means absence, stillness means delay, and restraint means denial. But in reality, sealing is one of the most sacred processes in the spiritual journey. What is sealed is protected. What is sealed is preserved. What is sealed is marked as belonging to God. You are not being prepared anymore. You are being secured. Up to this point, your journey has involved movement learning, resisting, enduring, obeying, refining. But now the focus shifts inward. This is where heaven ensures that what has been formed in you cannot be easily stolen from you. Sealing is not about adding more. It is about locking in what has already been built. This is why things feel quieter. The chaos has reduced. The emotional extremes have softened. You are less reactive, less eager to explain yourself, less desperate for validation. This is not indifference. This is authority settling in. Sealing produces stability. You may notice that temptations feel different now. Not necessarily weaker, but less convincing. What once pulled hard now feels hollow. What once enticed now feels misaligned. This is evidence of sealing. Your desires are being reordered. Your appetites are changing. You are no longer fighting certain battles because you have outgrown the battlefield. Sealing also brings boundaries. Doors you once had access to begin closing not because you are rejected, but because you are restricted for preservation. God does not seal what He plans to expose carelessly. Privacy increases before responsibility expands. This is why your circle feels smaller. Not everyone is allowed near what is sealed. You are becoming less explainable to people who knew your old patterns. They sense the difference but cannot define it. That is because sealing is not cosmetic. It is internal. It alters how you process pressure, how you interpret conflict, how you respond to delay. You are no longer easily shaken because your identity is no longer under negotiation. This stage is also where discernment becomes instinctive. You do not have to analyze everything anymore. You simply know when something is off. You feel misalignment quickly and clearly. This is not suspicion. It is spiritual calibration. Sealed people are sensitive without being fragile. One of the most important aspects of sealing is restraint. You no longer feel the need to rush outcomes. You understand timing. You understand weight. You understand that premature exposure can damage what is still settling. Silence becomes wisdom, not avoidance. Stillness becomes strategy, not stagnation. God seals before he sends. He secures before he assigns. Without sealing, calling leaks. Influence without sealing leads to compromise. Power without sealing leads to collapse. This is why this stage cannot be skipped. You may feel a deepening sense of responsibility now, not fear, but gravity. You are aware that what you carry affects more than just you. Words matter more. Choices echo further. This awareness is not meant to burden you. It is meant to mature you. Sealing aligns you with weight. There is also a gentle firmness developing in you. You say no more easily. You walk away without drama. You stop negotiating with things that once drained you. This firmness is not hardness. It is clarity. You know what belongs in your life and what no longer does. Sealing does not make you perfect. It makes you consistent. It stabilizes your yes and strengthens your no. It protects you from emotional volatility. It guards you from drifting back into old cycles under pressure. What once required effort now feels natural. You might notice that your prayers have changed. They are less frantic, less explanatory, more aligned. You are no longer begging for direction. You are asking for precision. You are not asking God to speak louder. You are asking to remain sensitive. This shift marks maturity. The enemy understands sealing, which is why attacks become more subtle here. Not loud opposition, but quiet suggestion. Not blatant temptation, but gentle questioning. Are you sure? Do you really need to hold this line? But sealed identity does not argue. It remains. You are learning that your calling does not need constant confirmation. It needs stewardship. And stewardship requires restraint. You do not cast pearls everywhere. You do not expose what is sacred to casual handling. Sealing teaches you discretion. The ancient words recorded in Romans still echo today, as written in the book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 29. For the gifts and the calling of God are irrevocable. Irrevocable does not mean unguarded, it means unrescinded. God does not take back what he gives, but he does protect it. Sealing is how irrevocable calling is preserved through changing seasons and increasing responsibility. You are not being hidden because you are unready. You are being sealed because you are almost ready. This stage ensures that when exposure comes, it will not undo you. That when authority comes, it will not intoxicate you. That when opposition comes, it will not destabilize you. Notice how you no longer crave urgency. You are no longer panicked by waiting. You are not rushing the next door. You are content to stand firm until it opens. This patience is not passive, it is rooted. Sealed people wait differently. You are not drifting, you are anchoring. This stage may feel uneventful compared to the fire, but it is just as critical. Fire shapes. Sealing secures. Without sealing, fire would only exhaust you. With sealing, fire produces permanence. What God is doing now will not be undone by future pressure. That is the purpose of sealing, to ensure longevity, to ensure integrity, to ensure that when you step into what comes next, you step in whole. Remain steady, remain watchful, remain aligned. You are being sealed not for comfort, but for endurance. Not for applause, but for assignment. And when the next door opens, you will not rush through it. You will walk through it grounded, guarded, and ready. What comes after the test is not noise. It is not chaos. It is not instant celebration. What comes after the test is opening. Quiet. Undeniable opening. Doors that do not need to be forced. Connections that do not need to be chased. Opportunities that do not drain you to maintain. This is the breakthrough phase, but not the kind people usually imagine. This breakthrough is internal first, external second. And that order is what makes it sustainable. You may have expected fireworks. Instead, you feel steadiness. You may have expected relief. Instead, you feel readiness. This is how real transition feel, not dramatic, but grounded, not rushed, but inevitable. After the test, God does not throw you forward. He releases you forward. You notice that things which once felt heavy now feel manageable. Not easy, but clear. Clarity is the reward of obedience. You are no longer guessing which direction to take. You may not know every detail, but you know the direction. And direction removes confusion even when details are missing. Breakthrough does not mean pressure disappears. It means pressure no longer controls you. Situations that once would have shaken you now meet a steadier version of you. You pause before reacting. You listen more than you explain. You choose intentionally instead of emotionally. This is fruit. This is evidence that the test worked. You are stepping into momentum that does not require striving. Things align because you are aligned. Favor follows you not because you demanded it, but because you are positioned for it. When God opens a door, He also adjusts your pace so you don't outrun your protection. This stage often surprises people because it feels normal, sacred, but not sensational. Yet this is where authority lives. Real authority does not announce itself. It settles into rooms quietly and changes the atmosphere without effort. You are becoming that kind of presence. After the test, discernment sharpens even further. You recognize opportunities that look good but are not assigned to you. You are no longer tempted by everything that shines. You understand that saying yes to the wrong thing delays the right thing even after breakthrough. Maturity does not end when doors open, it begins there. You also begin to see backward with clarity. Past seasons make sense now. The delays, the resistance, the fire, the ceiling, they were not random. They were sequential. Each stage prepared you for this one. Without them, you might have reached this point sooner, but you would not have stayed. Breakthrough is not just access, it is sustainability. God is not interested in quick rises followed by quiet collapses. He builds for longevity. And you can feel it now. You are not rushing. You are not grasping. You are walking forward with measured confidence. There is also a deeper compassion forming in you. You are less judgmental of others' processes. You understand how long refinement takes. You understand how easy it is to misinterpret delay. This compassion does not weaken you. It deepens you. Leaders shaped by process lead differently. You may notice that people begin to trust you more, even without knowing why. They sense stability. They sense discernment. They sense weight. This is not charisma. This is credibility built in private. After the test, what you carry becomes recognizable. Do not mistake this season for arrival. It is emergence. Arrival implies rest. Emergence implies responsibility. You are stepping into influence that requires stewardship. The same principles that carried you through the test will keep you steady in the breakthrough: humility, obedience, restraint. You are also learning how to celebrate quietly. Not everything needs to be announced. Some victories are sacred. Some doors are meant to be walked through without explanation. Privacy remains part of your protection even in openness. The final confirmation of breakthrough is peace that remains even when things are unfinished. You are no longer frantic about timelines. You trust process. You trust timing. You trust God's ability to complete what He started without your anxiety assisting Him. As Jesus Himself declared in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 16, verse 10, "He who is faithful in what is least is faithful also in much, and he who is unjust in what is least is unjust also in much." That is the law of transition. Faithfulness before breakthrough determines authority after breakthrough. You passed the test not because you were flawless, but because you remained responsive. And now much can be trusted to you without corrupting you. This is where your life begins to speak louder than your words, where consistency replaces intensity, where obedience becomes instinct, where your yes carries weight because it has been tested. If this message has walked with you through the warning, the test, the pressure, the fire, the sealing, and now the opening, then you are not walking alone. A simple act of support helps this message reach others standing where you once stood. Liking this message tells the platform it matters. Sharing it may place it directly in front of someone at their own crossroads. And subscribing keeps you connected to future words meant to sharpen, not sensationalize, to ground, not hype. You are not just surviving anymore. You are advancing with awareness, and what opens next will not require you to become someone new. It will require you to remain who you have become. Stand steady, walk forward, carry what you've been given with honor. The test is behind you, the door is open, and you are ready to step through it, not rushed, not afraid, but aligned. You don't need a loud ending for a message like this. What matters now is what lingers after the sound fades. The pause you feel is intentional. It gives space for reflection, for breath, for choice. Some messages push you toward action immediately. Others invite you to sit with what you've heard and let it settle. This is one of those moments. You've walked through warning, testing, pressure, fire, sealing, and breakthrough. Not as concepts, but as lived experiences you recognized along the way. That recognition is quiet proof that this journey is not theoretical for you. It's personal. And personal journeys don't end cleanly, they continue unfolding. What happens next doesn't need to be announced. It doesn't need validation. It will show itself in your decisions, your pace, your discernment, your restraint. In the way you respond instead of react. In the things you no longer tolerate. In the clarity you carry without forcing it on others. You may return to this message later and hear it differently. That's normal. Growth changes how truth lands. Let that be okay. There is no pressure to extract everything at once. Wisdom often arrives in layers. If this message resonated, you're free to respond in whatever way feels right to you. Some people reflect quietly. Some share it forward. Some simply carry it with them into their next decision. All of those responses are valid. What matters most is not what you do with this message publicly, but what you do with it privately. The quiet alignment, the small correction, the steady obedience. Those are the things that shape outcomes long after words end. There's no final instruction here, no demand, just space. Take what applies, leave what doesn't. Move forward aware, grounded, and unhurried. This isn't an ending, it's a continuation.